ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yukishi, and welcome to an 100% walkthrough of Monster Sanctuary, an indie RPG Metrovania meets Pokemon. Let's get started. However, there's an interesting aspect to this game. So I'm going to press continue instead, and I already have save files. 4 to be precise. So, at the beginning, you get to choose your starter, essentially. And I went through these guys just to make sure of the one I want to start with for my playthrough. So, let's start with the wolf first. So don't worry about anything, I just want to show off what all of these guys can do so you can make the decision yourself if you're following along, / if you're curious at all. So, the wolf specializes in wind, neutral magic, and water damage, as well as physical damage. It's got good stats, and later on it gets the chill effect. Monster loses 10% mana when applied, mana regen reduced by 20%, which is kind of huge. So, and then once you reach level 10 plus, you get access to all of these skills, which are very good. So, all around, a solid choice. Mostly playing into the chill aspect of things. I don't believe wind has any kind of special ability. So, that is the wolf. Now, apologies if I'm going to be talking about these guys super basic. This is what I would describe as a min-maxer's wet dream, truthfully. So if we load back in, and let's go to the lion next. So, the lion. Similar as before, with, good stats, has magic fire, specializes in earth, and also does physical. And then you have fire physical as well. So you have 2 different types for fire, which is awesome. Well, not just fire, but everything else. Fire has the burn mechanic. Monster receives damage based on own attack or magic value, whichever is higher, at the start of each turn. So it's like a damage over time effect. So if you like your burn damage, you're gonna like the lion. So that's the lion, basically. And then there's earth, which doesn't have a special effect, I don't believe. Yeah, I don't see anything related to the lion. And then physical attacks, I wonder if it's... No, he doesn't get bleeding. Okay, so physical attacks can sometimes also bleed, which is another DOT effect. So, the lion is for those of you who are pyromaniacs. You know, you like your fire, you like your burn. And he's also got good earth moves as well. So, that is the lion. Next is the more tankier of the options, the toad. So, the toad is way more of a tank than anything else. He is your healer. So you have your magic earth damage, and you do poison. Monster receives damage based on own max health at the start of each turn instead of anything else. You got your normal earth stuff. He's got water moves, but he doesn't do anything special with them. He has physical moves, and every hit has a 10% chance to apply poison with toxin. So that's huge. But he's also the only starter that can heal. Heal a target for 4x, 60 plus 20% of magic. So you're definitely going to want to do that. He can also buff your party members as well. So there is that to consider. He also gets weakened at level 10 plus. Monster deals 20% less damage, which is kind of huge for monsters that do, a metric fuck ton of damage. So he's got earth, he's got water, he's got a neutral attack, but most importantly, he can poison and he can heal. And I don't know if you heal based on poison, or if your opponent is poisoned, then you heal. I don't think that's a thing. Deals an additional 20% hit for every poison on the targets. Yeah. Every healed applied. Yeah, I don't think there's a thing like that for the toad. So, that's the toad. However, there is one more monster. And that's the bird. The eagle, I believe. Yep, the eagle. So the eagle has a little bit of everything. It's got physical fire damage, magic wind damage, and physical wind damage. So it's got magic wind and physical wind. Fire is pretty self-explanatory. It does not do, however, burn damage like the lion. It just does fire, so that's rather unfortunate. However, apply shock debuff on a random enemy at the start of combat. When attacking a shocked monster, deal an additional 50% damage on hit. So shock is another damage over time effect, and it is insanely strong. And then you get Thunderstorm later on. Hit all enemies, 50% chance to apply shock. Unique aura monsters in the party recover max health when they trigger shock damage. So he's like a pseudo healer in that sense. And then he's got physical wind as well. And then you can learn magic fire, but only solar burst. Which, you know, makes sense because he's like a firebird. And then he has access to a buff move, and even more than that, later down the road. So, with all that said, what monster am I going to pick? Well, you just have to wait and find out. New game. As always, I'm going to play as the female character, and as always, I'm going to name her Yuki. The Monster Sanctuary is a land far from any other human civilization. While wild monsters are dangerous to humans, monsters raised by them grow loyal to their owners. Most of the people in Monster Sanctuary reside in the Keeper's stronghold. Many of them learn to raise and train monsters. They call themselves Monster Keepers. Choose the familiar of your bloodline. So we got the Spectral Wolf with water and wind attacks, Spectral Eagle with fire and wind, Spectral Toad with earth and water, and then Spectral Lion with fire and earth. So, which of these three am I going to pick? Well, on my first time playing, I picked the wolf, because, well, it's a wolf. I like wolves. I'm more of a cat person, though. However, between these four, I'm picking the eagle. Among the most prestigious monster keepers, there are 4 prominent old bloodlines tied to the Monster Sanctuary's history. Each of those bloodlines is aided by a spectral familiar. Those familiars are ageless protectors of their family, passed on from one keeper to the next. Yuki is just starting out to become a monster keeper, like her ancestors before her. As with all starting monster keepers, her journey begins on the Keeper's Trail. Her bloodline's familiar bears the form of a spectral eagle. Your friend and helper. Name your familiar. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Monsters are wild things. The only reason I'm helping you is the bond I share with your family. Most monsters are less inclined than me to help you. That is why you must always raise your own monsters. They will grow alongside you, just as I will, and they will fight for you. The best way to gain a monster's loyalty is to hatch it from its egg. Of course, you'll have to fight. You have to fight to get those monster eggs, like the blob over there. Hi, how's it going? Initiate a fight by contact. We shall see if you will live up to your ancestors. Yeah. So, if we can only jump once. Ooh, slow down, okay. If we press, well, I'm using an Xbox controller, so if you press X, you get to activate your monster's ability. So, every monster has, well, I wouldn't say a unique ability, but has an ability specific to it. So, for instance, the eagle here can help me glide over long distances. And I believe I'll say that such. Oh, he's got a wooden stick. Team. Nope. I do not remember. We're just looking. Status. Nope. Skills. Nope. Equipment, no. Oh, wait, it's, hang on. Yeah, pressing right trigger, or left trigger. Explorability, fly. Levitates the player. So these are basically your power-ups / the Metrovania aspect to things. So the more monsters you have, the more abilities you get. So let's fight the blob. Start combat. So you have a 6-on-6, or a 6-on-3 for monster battles. And as you can see, the blob is weak to but resistant to water, so let's start combat. I got Explosion, Lightning Bolt, and Featherstorm as my starting moves. And with that red arrow, it shows that it's weak against it, so let's Lightning Bolt then. Double Burst! But, however, I am also weak. Lightning Bolt once more. And it KOs. You get a star rating for this. So you have enemy difficulty, combat duration, healthiness, buff and debuff, and execution, with a max of 5 stars. With a bonus chance of getting rare loot and gold. So I got a blob egg, which is rare, and a small potion. I got a potion. There we go, you received a blob egg. Now you need to hatch it. Open the inventory menu and try to hatch it. So we open the menu with Y on the Xbox controller, then go into inventory. Blob egg. Consume to hatch blob. Hi, how are ya? Hatch first monster. New best friend. Now, if we look at its skills, the blob is a water, neutral, healer, earth attacker, with innate poison damage as well. But it starts with Arcane Bolt, which is neutral, and a healing move. So, very good monster, I would say, early on. Got mana regeneration, which is insane. Armor Break, which is a really good ability, reduces defense and other sources of damage reduction by 25%. That's massive. So, if you did not pick the Toad, then the Blob is an excellent choice for you for starting out. I would definitely keep it around if I were you, at least for a little good while, or for a good little while. That is your first monster you hatched by yourself. Right now it is weak, so you will need to train it. There is much more for you to learn too. You and that Blob are quite alike. Let's continue on the Keeper's Trail. It will lead us to Old Burin, an old friend of mine. He is a patient teacher to all young keepers who seek guidance. I advise you to listen to him very carefully. You don't say. Well, if we press left trigger, we can switch to the Blob, which activates water orbs. What are water orbs? You'll just have to wait and find out. And here are more Blobs. Let's fight. Based on the effectiveness of your combat strategy, you get a rating of 1 to 5 stars. Earning a higher rating increases your chances of getting better drops like rare monster eggs. Yep. And that's how you get monsters in this game. Instead of trying to catch them, you have to specifically hatch them and win them from a fight. Young Keeper. Tis the Keeper's Trail's beginning. For all of man, beast, and sanctuary has beginning. Yep. Why? Aha. We got 2 new monsters, a Magma Pillar and a Rocky. So, weak to fire and weak to water. Perfect. You have more HP, but you're probably going to be a problem. So let's deal with you first, and hit you with a Lightning Bolt. Barrier, huh? So, barrier. I believe there we go. Receive 20% less damage, which is kind of huge, but unfortunately for you, you're dead. And now I'm going to explode. And then rinse and repeat. And there we go. A Rocky Egg. Nice. And my Eagle leveled up. As your monster gets gain experience in combat, they will increase in level. This allows them to gain new skills. You should take a look at the skill tree menu. So, as said, we can go into the skill tree and pick up a skill. So we can either get Explosion level 2, Attack Plus, more crit chance, more magic, Lightning Bolt, Initial Shock, Hybrid Shield, Featherstorm level 2, Mana Plus, or pick up Might. What does Might do? Physical attacks, or physical skills deal 20% more damage. Which will lead us to getting First Impact, Power, and Health Plus. I think... I really want to get Initial Shock. You know what? Learned Initial Shock. Note that you can unlearn recently learned skills freely as long as you didn't complete a monster encounter or exit the game. Huh. So, this will help. Yeah, apply Shock on a random enemy at the start of combat. This will help immensely with the strategy moving forward. But, we got a new egg, so let's take a look at Rocky! So, the way this game works is whatever your highest level monster is, whenever you go to hatch monsters, the hatched monster will be the same level as the monster that is your highest level. So Rocky has a skill point. So, Rocky, neutral damage, earth damage, physical and magical, and then restore, which heals and removes a debuff. So I think I want to... He's more physical leaning, though, so he's not a mixed attacker. He's definitely more of a physical dude. But I want to give him Restore, I think. And his skill creates a rock obstacle and activates ground switches. Summon rock. We're on our merry way. Oh, a chest. Hello. Cestus. Defense plus 15. Go into equipment. It's a weapon. So I get plus 5 to my attack, to my magic, and plus 15 to my defense with a damage reduction of 8%. Not bad. So every monster can equip a weapon and 3 accessory slots. So pick and choose wisely. Hi. Hey friend, you're just starting out as a monster keeper, right? Did you find some equipment for your monsters already? You can make your monster stronger by equipping them. I already did that. Kunai, mana regen plus 12. That's kind of good, though. Is that an accessory? No, that's a weapon. So I'll lose out on the defense and damage reduction, but my mana regen will go up. I definitely want that. So, who's getting the Cestus done? Rocky. Because Rocky is more of a tank than anything. Higher and higher. And since I have fly, I can reach. Get a hide. Accessory. Defense plus 12, health plus 110. Not bad. Hey. Hey, fellow keeper. Did you know that every single one of your monsters possesses a special ability? You can use your familiar's ability to fly to that chest up there. Press X to use monster ability. I just did that. This, we cannot do anything with. So if I... it's any of the bumper buttons or triggers, okay. Is this the map button? Yes, it is. We can place a map marker right here to signify that there's something here. So for this, I'm going to put down this. So I will know to come back here. And that's the Metrovania aspect of it. Find monsters with different abilities and unlock new paths. Now, if you didn't pick the flyer, or you didn't pick the eagle, then don't worry. You have your chance here with the Pharaoh. Alright, Arcane Bolt. Hit him with a 1-2. And let's go for the Lightning Bolt. Alright, Arcane Bolt on the bird. Leaf Storm on the bird. It's almost dead, so we can just normally physical attack it, so let's do that. So we don't waste mana. And now you're as good as gone. God, Rocky, your regen is bad. Kaboom! 4 stars, and that's all she wrote. The slime leveled up. So, let's check out the slime. I could grab that. You know what, actually? Yeah. Acid Rain. Grab that. Mana upkeep. Increase mana regen of the whole party by 10%. That's probably gonna be the next thing I'll pick up then. And man prospered through generations, founded cities and nations, connected by dirt and wheel, and later by steam and steel. Cute. Alright, there's a monster up there. We can't get up there quite yet. Bracelet. Defense plus 10, mana regen plus 12, and it's an accessory. Well, I can't think of anyone more deserving of it than this. Perfect. So try as we might, we cannot reach up there quite yet. We're gonna have to wait. So let's do that, and say jump. So then that way, when we come back here, we know that we can jump up high and potentially get a new monster. I don't remember if monsters come back. Yeah, I don't think they come back unless if you teleport and teleport back. Slash you call them again. We'll talk about that later. For now, we're just going down. Give me this. A gauntlet. Defense plus 12, crit chance plus 5%. Nice. Alright, right to the Keeper's stronghold, left to the Keeper's trail. Alright, well, you heard the bird. Oh, this is the path to the Keeper's stronghold. We should continue to the Keeper's trail first, then visit old Buren. Ah, alright. Well, I want to go down. And get a chest. Copper. Upgrade material. Hit. Nope. Our head hit. We hit our head. So we're gonna need some form of thing in order to make it up. Yeah, even with the bird, we'd have no luck. Hey, we got more bird chances. So they are weak to Earth, huh? Perfect. Diadem. Defense plus 10, mana plus 25. Man knew of those who wait in the woods and caverns beyond, yet for the treasures within he longed, for the greed of kings was great. We have another shot at getting the magma. So, let's go into skill points for these guys, and go from there. So, applies weakness, huh? Or... channel. Our active skills require 20% less mana. Defense healing. Healing actions trigger an additional heal on the monster with the lowest health equal to 50% of its defense value. More mana regen is better for this thing. You know what? I think I like that then. For the eagle. I could get that. I could also get mana or magic even. I think I'm actually going to pick up Might. It's a good buff move. Say hello to the Magma Pillar. And of course, since Eagle and Rocky are level 3, Magma Pillar starts off as level 3. So, you offer magic fire damage. And you prioritize Burn. You have neutral, and then you apply barrier, and shield all, which is immense. So I'm picking that up. Apply shield to the party when an enemy receives burn. Damage equal to 3% of each monster's max health. Ooh, I like that. So yeah, the Magma Pillar is definitely more magic-oriented, and definitely prioritizes burn damage. All monsters on the party deal 5% more damage. That is huge. So I actually... I think I like this for now, but I want Eagle leading. Actually, nah. Do it this way. Yeah, I like that. As good as Rocky is, I definitely prefer this strat right now. Or currently. We continue on and get 2 chests. An orb that has 40 magic and mana regen plus 12. And a Morning Star, which is defense plus 15, but attack is up by 40. The Magma Pillar will definitely like that. Yeah, the orb. Minus 25 attack, but that's perfectly fine, because it wants to prioritize magic over anything else. The Diadem. I'm gonna give it the Hide, actually. And you get the Diadem. And then you can get the... Not that, definitely not that. I think I'm good for now. Battle time. And the battle has been won. And I got another Rocky Egg. And the slime leveled, or the blob, rather, leveled up. You're definitely more magic-oriented. Slime shot, earth damage. Yeah, I could use some of that. You deal poison. Yep. Alright, onwards. Man plunged into deepest abyss. Forged, attacked, and slew. These endeavors were without solace. The cost on humanity, nobody knew. Interesting. Oh, I saw a chest. Hey, shit. Phoenix tier, revives target, heal target for 4x200. Yeah. Hello, young Master Keeper. Your first time on your Keeper shell, is it? This is a teleporter stone. You can use it to travel quickly to other teleporters you find. Me? I'm just a treasure hunter. I make a business selling the things I find here and there. Wanna buy something? What are you buying? So he's got shell, which is plus 20 defense, and mana regen, plus 18. Not bad, not bad. Interact. So there's that. Nope. Alright, I want that chest. And nothing's gonna stop me from getting it. I said nothing is going to stop me from getting that chest. Yep. 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 Perfect. Score. Impact ring. Crit damage plus 20%. Nice. So, there's another thing right here, but I don't think I can do anything about it yet. Hey, Fellow Keeper, did you know that you can change which of your monsters is following you around? This allows you to use different monster abilities while exploring. Change following a monster. Yep. Magma Pillar. Has Ignite. Burns vines and controls torches and activates fire orbs. So, there we are. And now we can make our way to the treasure. Red Gem. Level 1 rare upgrade material. And 150 gold. Not bad, not bad. Mountain path key required. We can't do anything about that. I'm on the bird. So we have to go over here. Let's see what's over here. Plenty of Rockies that I'm now in a fight with. Battle on over and finished with. Not bad. Hey, certain monsters can destroy hidden walls like the one behind me. If you happen to get a monster with a physical ability, come back and try it. Alright, so that's another area on the map. With this. So we're gonna have to come back here later. Bandana. Mana plus 25, crit chance plus 5%. So that's already 10% more crit for any monster that focuses on crit, which is kind of huge. Jump, 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 jump. Alright, what's over here? Since I have Magma Pillar, burn! Aha. New monster for us. Weak to Earth, not so much weak to lightning, huh? So you can choose your monsters at the start of combat, and I think this is what I'm gonna go with. So, begin with the Slime Shot. Activate Shield. And then hit him with the Leaf Slash. Not bad, not bad. Slime Shot this one. Shield up. And then Leaf Slash. Alright. So, Slime Shot this one. I think I'm going to Ignite on you. That's a KO. And then Leaf Storm. Alright, Arcane Bolt. And Ignite should finish you off. 4 stars, Cat Zerker Egg. Perfect. And everyone got a level up. Nice. So, Blob. I could give you Magic Water, but you're already doing that with that. Oh wait, what am I doing? Mana upkeep, duh. Magma Pillar. Every head has a 10% chance to apply Burn. That does sound useful, though. So does increasing my magic. I think I'm gonna learn Arcane Bolt just so I can get Kindle. And potentially even get Cascade. But definitely Kindle. Eagle! Increase the base damage of the first hit of an attack by an additional 40% of attack or magic. 25% from mass attacks. So if I start with Explosion, that'll be insane. That sounds fun. Let's do it. And then Rocky. I can give you Spore. Magic Earth damage. I don't think we're gonna do that, so... Channel. Active skills require 20% less mana. Kinda like that for you. So let's do it. However, we got a new monster in Cat Zerker. And would you look at that? It's a crit-focused one. It's a purely physical attacker, too. Claws. Crit damage plus 50%. With more crit chance, claws, health bonus, attack plus, slash. Critical hits may apply bleed stacks. Bleed deals damage at the start of turn based on the applying attack, then half of the bleeding stacks are removed, rounded up. It's also got a physical wind attack, a physical fire attack, and then regeneration. Regen 7.5% of max health at the start of the turn, which is insane. So I think I'm going to pick up Fire Claws, which is crit damage plus 50%, and then Air Sickle, just so I have some variety in his abilities. So I definitely think he's going to be replacing the Eagle then, in terms of Fire and Wind. But that's not all, because we have a couple of accessories we can give him. The Bandana, Gauntlet, and the Impact Ring. So now he's got 20% crit chance, and his crit damage is now 70%. That's kind of huge. So, I think we're going to keep it as is for now. We got a Walnut, plus 8 defense. What does Cat Zerker do? Breaks through hidden walls, and it cuts through vines. So, we can now go back to down here. And break through this wall. I believe if you start with the Toad and the Wolf, you'll already have this ability. Skill Resetter resets the skill tree of a monster. Next is the area above us. There we go. Delete map marker, yes. However, I think it's best to wait to get there when we actually go that path. So for now, let's just hop on back up. I want my eagle. And now we can fall down. Song note and this one right here. So, which one best represents its song note? I think I'm just gonna do this one and do song note instead. Or, even better. Note. Alright. More magma pillars! Yay! Perfect. Mono Ring, rare item. Nice. Alright. To the next area, done. Again, wanted to take its sweet time, I noticed. Can't get up there quite yet. Nope. Even if I leapt off the last pixel. Yeah, I don't think I can get up there. However, I can get here just fine. Crit Ring, crit chance plus 10%. Say less. I think defense is good. Yeah, defense is good. So that's an additional 5% crit chance. 25. Nah, I want XP. Let's fight! Done and dusted. And I got a new blob egg for it, too. Nice. But then came the four, free from greed or any other sin, who listened to the voice within, struck a wound to the realm's core. Okay. Alright, we got many paths to go up here, so... let's continue going up. Hello, chest. Smoke bomb. Retreat out of combat. Yeah. Alright, what's over here? Ooh, some new enemies. Well, at least one new enemy, and that's the Yowie. Or however the fuck you pronounce it. So, they're weak to fire, huh? And then the bird is weak to earth. Yeah, let's start. Alright, slime shot on Burb. With an ignite on you. Then hit him with an explosion. That did a lot of damage. Alright, acid rain. Ignite. Kablam! Hit him with that slime shot. And I think all I need to do is just Ignis! Kablamo. And they got a Vero in. Fuck yeah. And my Berserker, or Capzerker is level 4. I'm going to actually wait to open it. Or wait to crack open the egg, because I'm almost level 5. I'm not going to crack open the egg just yet. I'm going to wait until I'm level 6 for that. Ooh. Home. Mana plus 20, mana regen plus 12. That's good. And I got a potion. Hit. Hit. This definitely looks like we can jump up here, but we can't do anything about it yet. So I'm going to place a marker and just say jump. Because this looks like a secret area, but we have no means of getting to it yet. Yeah. Even if I press and hold jump, it won't do anything yet. But that's fine. We can come back here later. As is tradition with all of these Metrovanias. Hup. Hup. Whee. Fine. Shell, defense plus 20. Not bad. No. So, the bird. More of a physical attacker than a special attacker. Well, a magic attacker. So it's got a normal beating. However, it provides all of the buffs, which is huge. And then it's got Featherstorm and then wind. So it's got 2 types of wind attacks. Okay. As for level 10 stuff, you know, pretty normal. Yeah. Not great by any means, but not bad either. As for the Yeti, mixed attacker with water focus, physical damage, and providing the channel buff. So overall, pretty decent. And can do water damage while also bleeding, causing bleed. And it has Ice Storm, which is immense. When this monster gets attacked, 50% chance to apply chill onto the attacker. Increase mana regen, tackle, neutral attacks deal more damage. Taunt, and that's the main thing. When an ally would be attacked, 25% chance to redirect the attack to this monster, which is kind of huge. So, yeah, that's the Yeti. Alright, Blab. Squish. Let's give you... Let's give you more mana. Magma Pillar, on the other hand, I want to give you Kindle. For you, I want to give you more magic. There we go. Rocky. Let's go restore level 2. Zerker. 2% increased damage for every buff on this monster. That's kind of good. However, lifesteal. Heal by 50% of the damage dealt to enemies. Because of Fire Claws. Actually, mana regen sounds good. And that's all she wrote for now. Alright, let's actually explore this place. From this wound, rivers flowed, and mountains grew mighty and cold. It is the only place for any creature that lives in peace with its nature. I got a ribbon. So you breaks hidden walls and moves heavy blocks. So you're basically you're like the cat, but you can't cut through vines. And then the bird levitates the player. So if you didn't choose the eagle, you now have someone that you can grab the talons of. Okay, we don't want to come here yet. That is main story progress. I want to continue on. So I would like to fall down this huge thing. Alright, we can already go there, so let's go over here next. Never mind, let's not do that. It's always important to mark your maps, folks. 100 gold. Huh. Yeah, Zerker. Discover a hidden room entrance off the beaten path. Helmet. Defense plus 10, attack plus 10. Not bad. Alright, give me back the bird. Yeah, so always keep an eye on the map, because you may never know what the map may hold, or what the map may tell. Alright. Wizard hat. Defense plus 10, magic plus 10. No. No. Ah, a fire and water orb, eh? Well, I can activate both of them. Shit. And for my troubles, Pandora's Box, defense plus 12. Receive a random buff at the start of combat. The monster can still receive another instance of that buff normally. And then I got a portion. Alright. Bird. Hit it! No. Hit it! No. Alright, so we're definitely gonna need to come back here later. So for now, I will meet you back where we're supposed to be. And here we are. That didn't take long. The titles of these books read The Ancestral Tome of Blob Handling and The Hidden Places of Monster Sanctuary. The Guide. Hello. Oh, if it isn't an old friend of mine. Hey, Bjorn. Long time no see. I brought you a new student. She just hatched her first monsters. I thought you might teach her some lessons. So, you're the new spectral keeper, huh? Folk call me Old Bjorn. I've made my home at the end of the Keeper's Trail, so I can teach all of you greenhorns about your new duties as fully fledged monster keepers. But first, let's battle to see if you are worthy of the title. Always observe your enemies carefully. Some say that the outcome of battle is decided before it begins. Since I raised these blobs myself, they are stronger than the ones you've seen so far. As you can see, their level is much higher. You can also see the weakness and resistance of your monsters. My blobs are weak to wind. Yep, so we're going to want to choose monsters that can specifically do just that. So... give me some might. Look at the top right corner of the screen. That is the combo counter. Every action you do in combat will increase the combo counter based on how often you hit your enemies or healed or buffed your allies. This will increase the damage of the following attacks. The combo counter resets after every turn. So, it makes sense to always try to act with your weaker, defensive, or assisting monsters first, and use high hit count actions. This will maximize the damage of your offensive monsters that act faster. Yup. So they're both weak to this, so 150, 180, 160. So I'm gonna go with the 160. And then I'm gonna Featherstorm. Or, Lightning Bolt. You're gonna receive a beating. I'm just gonna slash you in too. I know, I'm Lightning Bolt. Take a beating. Slash. And Lightning Bolts. Come up. And finish it off with an air circle. Not bad. Not bad at all. You have walked a Keeper's Trail and you defeated my monsters. However, to become a proper Monster Keeper, you will need to complete one more test. Young Keeper, this next test will be much more challenging. You should prepare for it first. If your monsters have any free skill points, use them now, and use them wisely. Yep, so definitely gonna level up the bird. Definitely grab these two, at the very least. Every attack triggers an additional hit equal to 35% of the attack value. More attack. Alright. Have you prepared for the real test? Let's do it. Good! You show bravery, but this time you are not facing a normal monster. It's the guy at the beginning of the game. In the, home screen. Main menu. Particularly powerful monsters are often described as champions. They have more health, do more damage, and can act multiple times a turn. It is your job as a Monster Keeper to take care of them. So it's only fitting that you beat one to become a monster of the Order of Monster Keepers. Or remember, show me what you are made of. Alright, so we're going to choose our monsters very carefully here. So, fire is completely useless, but lightning slash or wind isn't. So I'm probably going to start with the blob. Yeah, I'm going to start with the blob for the defense shred. Then these two are weak. I'll do the eagle. And I'll do Rocky, actually. This is probably going to be bad. However, armor break. Channel. And just spam lightning bolt. Alright, hit him with that slime shot to get that DOT going. Punch combo stronger. And continue with the assault. Heal. Bird. Hit him with the good old 1, 2, 3. And then lightning bolt. Arcane bolt. Hit him with the good old 1, 2, and 3. And then lightning bolt. I'm gonna heal, because why the hell not? And then finish it off with a lightning bolt. 4 stars. Got a shell, got some iron, some copper, and a potion. And the eagle, the bird, the other bird, and the cat ticker all leveled up. Nice. Congratulations, young one! You have defeated your first champion, and therefore you are now a Keeper Aspirant. Nothing more is required of you. However, stay a while and listen, won't you? Because there are things going on in the sanctuary that trouble me. You see, monsters can't become this powerful by normal means, and champions usually don't accept other monsters besides them or a keeper in control of them. Champions are always an anomaly, quite rare in nature. I enhanced this goal myself to make it stronger. But even I couldn't control it for longer periods of time, so I leave it deactivated most of the time. Recently, Keeper Rangers have been fighting an unusual amount of champions around the sanctuary. I regularly receive letters by Veromail from rangers who are stuck in the distant reaches of the sanctuary, fighting against champions. And if it weren't for my old bones, I'd go out there myself, but at least I could keep the Keeper's Trail safe. I've trapped a champion of the caves in this area. You can take care of it if you feel up to the task. Mountain Path key opens a door in the Mountain Path area. But before you go, there's one more lesson I want to teach you. Don't worry, I don't have any other monsters for you to fight. This lesson is just about feeding your monsters. Apples. Taters. Feeding your monsters will boost their stats. Caring for your monsters this way is vital if you intend to face more champion monsters. But a monster always only profits from the last 3 food items you gave to it. Now good luck on your road as a Monster Keeper. Well then, complete old Buren's training. Well then, you're a Keeper Aspirant now. Still, the only way to improve your rank is to beat more champions. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to reach the title of Keeper Master. There's always only one in a couple lifetimes. We can take care of that other champion right now, or we can go back to the Keeper Stronghold first. The choice is yours. I am going to aim to head to the Keeper's stronghold instead. All right, and we're here. Oh, almost. Nah. Yep. I'll do that in my own time. We arrived back at the Keeper's stronghold. The stronghold has served as a base of operations for the Monster Keepers for centuries. We should explore some other areas of the Monster Sanctuary next. The Blue Caves are located just below the stronghold. Before we head there, you should prepare yourself and your monsters adequately. You can find merchants and the blacksmiths in the stronghold to ensure that your monsters always have the best food and the best gear. If you ever feel lost or aren't sure where to go next, you can go to your menu and use the talk feature. The talk feature allows you to ask me about our current objectives. Why is it so loud in here? Like, it is ridiculously loud for how low it is. But whatever. This is the Keeper Stronghold. Home to all Monster Keepers. Welcome, Keeper Aspirant. We got a monster we've never seen before. Here in the Keeper Stronghold, monsters live alongside humans. We raise them to be our friends. A monster raised by a human would never attack a human. Usually, champion monsters are very rare, but recently, they've been seen in all regions of the Sanctuary. You don't say. Oh, if I jump up a little bit more... Come on, there we go. Staff, crit chance plus 7%. Not bad. Hello, fellow keeper. Are you aware of how the execution part of the rating system is calculated? Explain it to me. Execution is mainly based on how well you use the combo system. Your first two monsters increase the rating if you manage to get a high combo count. The last monster increases the rating depending on how much damage it deals relatively to the enemy's health. Also, you can increase points if you exploit the enemy's weakness. Did you know that the buff/debuff rating not only counts how many buffs and debuffs you applied? It also grants additional points depending on how often enemies took poison, burn, or congeal damage. My preferred strategy is to stay defensive and let my debuffs do the job. You don't say. Alright, +1. Utilizing the combo system properly is key to get a good rating in combat. Do you need a reminder how it works? Sure. Every action you do in combat will increase the combo counter based on how often you hit your enemies or healed or buffed your allies. This will increase the damage of the following attacks. The combo counter resets after every turn. So it makes sense to always try to act with your weaker... I think the most important thing as a monster keeper is finding the right diet for all your monsters. Alright, so that's the left wing. What about the right wing? Nope. Always think about having enough supplies. You never know what kind of dark times might be ahead of us. Alright, and now we go to the right, Here's a trader, here's an item trader, here's another trader. Hello. Hey, Ricky! Got your first monster? Be careful, a lot of strong champion monsters were spotted recently. The cause of all this hubbub is unclear, but I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. And she's got the Spectral Wolf. Yep. Want to help strengthen the Stronghold's monster army? You can donate eggs you don't need to the Stronghold. You'll raise and train them. You'll get a compensatory reward for each egg you donate. Additionally, you will increase the monster army's strength with each egg you bring in. When the monster army reaches a certain strength, you will receive special rewards. So we can donate egg, donate multiple, donate a monster instead. So next reward we get 3 Phoenix Tears if we donate 50. I got a Magma Pillar, a Blob, and a Rocky Egg. I'm gonna keep a hold of them for now. So, bit of a weird place to call it, but I think I am gonna call it here for now. So, next time on Monster Sanctuary, we fully explored the Keeper Stronghold, and instead of going to the Blue Caves, we instead go to the Mountain Path and see what lies ahead. So, I've been Rikishi, and I will see you next time.